you were a professional baseball player. You know, you played, you fulfilled like what most boyhood dreams might be. I don't know how many days you played in the full leagues or you stayed in the minors your whole career, but that's huge. And I don't know how you compare it to, but you almost like that you had so much, you had like college years or being a kid, like you had just that extended where you came into the professional world later,
right,
but with different advantages. How did your career as a professional athlete prepare you for what you do now, which is sales?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it goes back a little bit to what I was saying earlier, which is the preparedness piece. You know, I think a lot of people, when they think of sports and when they think of being prepared as it might pertain to sports, they think about it as like practice. And I think that that's like definitely an element of it with the skill building side of it. But I think what you really learn in athletics, specifically as you get to higher and higher levels, is how to prepare yourself to be able to put your best self out there, perform at your peak in the moments that you're trying to perform at your peak in. And so when you're younger, like when you're in college, that looks like before the game, let me make sure that I drink a Red Bull and take some painkillers, you know, Advil. Let me make sure I put some icy hot on my arm. Because when you're younger, it's just like short-term solution to the problem. But as you get older, that transforms to, you know, how long is my stretching routine when I'm 26, 27, 28? How much mobility work am I doing in the gym in the off season? Because you start to gain the bigger picture understanding of, I'm going to feel better and be better prepared to perform at my peak to do this as I get older. And so I think that translates to the professional world in sales in a similar way, where it's like you get used to needing to be prepared to perform at your peak at all different times, and you're not scared of what that looks like. You're not nervous to perform on an important sales call or go visit somebody because you know that you're putting the time in and laying the foundation to perform at your peak in those situations. And then also just the sort of dog-eat-dog world of the locker room and the competitive nature of the sports themselves. So you're in a position where it requires a high level of discipline over and over and over, and you're competing with all these guys that are your friends, but also they're trying to take your job and you're trying to take their job. So naturally you have a built-in quota, and that quota is climbing to the next level. So you get used to needing to be prepared to perform at your peak. You get used to trying to be disciplined to live up to what the next goal is. And all of those things tie into the sales world, whether it's being prepared to have phone calls, putting yourself in a position to succeed, and then not being intimidated, but being motivated by quotas and goals and trying to accomplish things for a greater purpose. In the sports world, that might be your team winning a championship, your brotherhood, the organization, et cetera. In this scenario, it could be the sales team, the onboarding team, 𝗤𝘗 Realty as a whole, or even in the straight up Chicago investor scenario, the industry. You know, how can I put my 2 cents in to leave the industry better than I found it? You know what I mean?
When I think early on, and we've been around 20 years now, but at 𝗤𝘗, we used to call it, it's like working for a family-run business. And my mindset has shifted around that because you can't fire your family. You can't, I don't know, just you might even handle your family differently with specific scenarios just to kind of be nice. So, you know, because you got to see them at Thanksgiving, right? Mm-hmm. But I've shifted my mindset to running a business or having a business is more of a team sport. And, you know, you have A players, you have B players, you trade people, you know, maybe trading might be translated to the hiring or firing process. Right. But how is like the whole team mentality? I imagine that is something, how has that helped you like kind of slide into, I wouldn't call it the corporate world, but like the real office space?
No. I think that part's important because I think that what you realize when you're on a team, whether it's in a clubhouse or on the field or whatever, and this is going to be very like cliched, but as you perform better to the greater good, then it raises all, you know, a rising tide raises all boats. So you're in a position where not only is your day-to-day life going to be a lot more enjoyable if when you go to the office, people enjoy having you around and you enjoy having people around, which is very much a mindset, by the way. But also, as the company continues to achieve their goals and grow, much like how the team continues to achieve their goals and grow, you know, you are going to reach higher goals yourself, things that you never would have been able to do individually, or just you never would have been able to do in maybe as happy of a way. And I think that when you start to think about pursuit and success and what those different things mean, I think happiness probably deserves a spot on that list. And I think generally, and maybe this is a personality thing, but I am happier doing that with my teammates or with my, coworkers or with my friends, et cetera. So